Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, and for the first time in nearly a month, in front of the millions! Okay, probably not millions. Is there nobody yet in the live chat? Okay, it's okay. But for the first time in nearly a month, finally, the man! Well, I unfortunately no longer have a microphone. I did get rid of the mic of Mike. And again, the reason why is, again, because, I was cleaning stuff out. Because I am preparing to move into my new home. Which, sadly, well not sadly, but, sentimentally, tonight is the last night I will be living in my childhood home. Tomorrow we start moving some of the big stuff to my new home, which of course will be enough for me to be able to start staying there. So, of course, I have a couple uploads I'm going to try, not promising, try to get done tonight also. But I'm DVRing SmackDown. I had to get these Rumble predictions done because I have a lot I want to say about these Rumble predictions. But this will be, of course, the final live stream. Unless, of course, I have to come back and stay over here for some reason, because it is a little bit further out of the way, my new home, from some other things. But as of now, this will be the final live stream in my bedroom. And again, yes, it is a little sentimental. Again, I've been living in this house for almost 30 years. It's the same bedroom I've had since I was 3 years old. So, but there's that. But yeah, I've been cleaning stuff out, obviously, because I've been, getting stuff ready and moving it over to my new house. And the mic of Mike was all beat up. So I unfortunately do not have the mic of Mike anymore. So, unfortunately not. But anyways, I can, but let's pick up my, hold on, pop filters coming off of it. I guess I can use my Blue Yeti microphone and go, finally, the man has come back to live streams. If that even makes any sense at all whatsoever. Man, but okay. But yes, guys, again, we are live. We're going to talk about tomorrow night's big premium live event. Pay-per-view, of course, to me still. WWE's Royal Rumble 2023. Again, we're going to talk about the five matches on this Rumble card. I'll also do a little bit of like a special topic thing, though, before we get started. It's something I've been wanting to cover live for a couple weeks now. But again, between me going out of town a couple weeks ago, between me, closing on my house and, getting all this other stuff done. Again, I've said last month, I've had to go down to just uploads only. But the preview predictions, especially for the Royal Rumble, I couldn't pass up on that. Doing that as an upload. I wanted to go live for that. So I lost the train of thought. So I will, of course, be here talking about that stuff. And again, I got a lot I want to say about these matches. I really, except for maybe the Universal title match, I think is very obvious. Is going to be excellent, but predictable. The Raw Women's title match, it's somewhat predictable, but I still think there's going to be something else happening to kind of like protect whoever loses that match. The Pitch Black match, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's the easy predictable match either. And then the Rumble matches, oh boy, we're going to get into those. So for those, I have a picked out winner. But for the men's match, I do have like a little bit of an interesting fantasy booking tidbit I like to throw out there. It's something that I thought of when I started hearing rumblings and that how a lot of people do want to see this person win the Rumble match, because there's a lot of outcomes. And again, that's what I continue to like about Triple H, being in charge. Well, again, as he said on Raw this past week, this creative stuff's not easy or whatnot, but I'm happy he still has the keys to creative. So I'm very excited to see what he comes up with for these Royal Rumble matches. As the women, there's not too many women I see having a chance to win this. There's a couple. The men's, though, there's a couple, only maybe like 3 or 4 people, maybe. I will talk about that, though, of course, when we get there. So, yeah, like I said, I wanted to, dedicate the time. And again, I am DVRing SmackDown, so I'm going to try to review Dynamite and SmackDown tonight if I can. But again, no promises. And again, tomorrow I won't have any time because I'll be starting to move some big stuff into my new home. And of course, tomorrow night's the Rumble, which I believe my friends said they'd like to go live for just one Rumble match. Not both of them, just one of them. So, not sure which one we'll do, but we will, of course, do something. But, yeah, before we get started, though, and again, before we actually talk about the pay-per-view, I do want to address something that, again, I've been wanting to address live for a few weeks, and again, I just haven't had the time. But let's check the live chat for. We've got just Wario DF and Mark in the live chat. Wario DF saying, hi, I like Otis, I like Ivar. Are you okay? I'm good. WB Friday night, saying, that's all some random stuff. Okay. We got Mark. What's going on, Mark? Hey, Mike, how are you? Again, man, just exhausted again between getting ready to move and, getting ready to get married. It's just the craziest time of the year. But I'm great. How about yourself, my friend? He's disappointed because we might not be getting the dream match at WrestleMania this year, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, it is possible we may not be getting it. I'm going to at least give, Saturday as like the last chance. But if nothing is, done Saturday for that match, then I'm probably going to just be pulling the plug. I'll probably be pulling the plug on the idea of Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Because let me tell you something, it is quite complicated. What's up, Tyler? Thank you for jumping in also. But before we get started, again, since this is the first live stream I've done since SmackDown, since my SmackDown review from the last SmackDown of 2022, there's been something I've been wanting to address. And when I was making the graphics for this last time, you know what? Just get it out of the way in my Rumble predictions, because, again, with me moving and, all this other stuff going on, I don't know when I'll be able to have time to, do this. And by the time I probably do get around to it, it'll probably be too late. So, let's roll in and talk about this first before we get to the actual Rumble preview. And that is this chaos that is going on behind the scenes in WWE this past month. So, Vince McMahon, of course, as we all know, bullied his way back into the company. He had been trying to get back, which, again, I still don't understand how, because he's still, being sued left and right. He is still getting more and more people accusing him of certain allegations. I hear one former referee, him settled on money and that was it. But again, it's just like, okay, why are they still, letting this guy just get away with it? Again, Vince McMahon just still, especially this past month, has become like that great TV villain you just want to take down. And no matter how many times when you think you got him down, he still comes back and gets what he wants. And it drives me crazy. I've lost more and more respect for Vince McMahon this past month than I have, in my almost 10 years as a wrestling fan. So, as we all know, Vince McMahon got back into WWE, starting off by saying he just wants to be part of the board and he wants to be part of the sale for WWE. and he has all the faith in the world with Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan and Triple H in their positions. He's not there to interfere with them. That was back on Friday, January the 6th. That Tuesday, January 10th, this is while I was away in Vegas, I'm working my trade show I was working at that week. And I happen to step aside, check my phone, and I get a text message from my good friend saying that Stephanie McMahon stepped down and has resigned from her position. It's not her, taking the leave of absence she was taking right before Vince retired last summer. She resigned, quit, done. Adios, sayonara. She'll never work for Daddy again. Yes, I was trying to quote George Costanza whenever he quit on his boss in the real estate company back in the Seinfeld episode. But yeah, so she resigned just not even 3 days after Vince McMahon got back onto the board. And then, of course, with her resigning, Nick Khan became sole CEO. And then somehow through all of that, Vince McMahon slowly was bullying his way, and more people on the board were leaving. And just for Vince McMahon to eventually be elected chairman of the board. Executive chairman of the board. So I saw that, I'm like, here we go. It's already getting started. He hasn't budged from that position yet. And of course, there's been meetings with employees and talent. Because there's been uproars about Vince coming back, people being concerned, as I don't blame them. And there's been these meetings. Triple H has had these meetings saying, everything's fine. Everything's fine. He is just here for the sale. But then also that Tuesday, we got to talk about this. I think I had seen a post from I think it was Wrestle Talk or something like that on Twitter. And then it just skyrocketed. And I remember I spent that Tuesday night in my hotel room listening to Just Alex, because I like to watch his videos, rant on this. There was an uproar that just 3 days after Vince McMahon had gotten his way back into the company, just 3 days, there was an uproar that WWE had sold to Saudi Arabia. And I remember because we all thought it was true. So many sources were confirming it. And I'm just like, this is just it's just talk about a turn of events. Within 3 days, Vince McMahon at the time had seemingly turned the whole company back on upside down. Selling it to Saudi Arabia, but luckily, the next day, it was confirmed that they were not true. But did they just do that just to, see how fans would react? Because nobody wants WWE to be sold to Saudi Arabia. It's just not a product that's meant to be sold to the Saudi Arabian culture. Because, of course, obviously, they, have their ways. That's how they want to do things there. The big thing, of course, that I would be against going to WWE being sold to Saudi Arabia is the fact that, of course, it basically would be the end to what we have today for women's wrestling. It took a few pay-per-views just for them to be able to have women wrestle over in Saudi Arabia. And now, of course, women have to wear, these, big jumpsuits and whatnot, stuff that, obviously is not comfortable. Or, if they would sell to Saudi Arabia, how do we not know they would not allow women to wrestle, period? So, that's basically saying Vince McMahon sacrificing his blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie, and, because that's the only women he seemed to push in the day. He's probably the ones who wanted to, Okay, I'm trying not to go too far. But point is being said, I completely agree. Like WWE selling to, you know, a company that's going to literally just like completely change the whole landscape of what this company is literally Vince McMahon just writing WWE's death wish and putting them on death's. Basically, again, it's exactly what we all thought Vince McMahon would do. Let the company die with him. So, yeah, it caused a huge uproar. But again, there's still been meetings, you know, well, first of all, we're hearing that they're talking to people like, you know, Disney, Comcast, Amazon, Warner Brothers, all sorts of different people that they're considering selling the company to. Which I keep hearing now, there's rumors that they're trying to sell the company by the middle of this year. And again, the whole thing is Vince just wants to be part of the sale. How do we not know that Vince McMahon is going to sell it to a company that's going to basically let him swoop right back into where he was? I don't trust this man. I absolutely do not trust this man. Especially, again, the way he bullied his way back into the company. A bunch of people have all on the board already left because of him. And like 3 or 4 times, he's been sued by them. Like, how on earth is this man getting away with everything he's getting away from? He's a true final boss that you just can't take out. But yeah, the moment Stephanie resigned, well, I know, like, not like maybe 2 days after, she got some surgery or something like that. But I'm like, okay, that's funny because she took a leave of absence right before Vince retired. The moment he retired, she became chairwoman, like co-CEO with Nick Khan and chairwoman. And in the moment Vince comes back, bye, Daddy. And Triple H, who's gone out of his way to have meetings to tell people everything's fine. Everything's fine. But as I said before, for now, I don't trust Vince McMahon one bit. Again, how do we not know he's going to sell to someone, again, who's not going to take care of the company properly, and also who's not going to want to see him back in power? Again, Triple H is still in charge for now. Triple H is writing tomorrow's Royal Rumble matches. And here's the thing, I'll say this. If Vince does get power again, I just pray we at least get through WrestleMania before he takes power. Otherwise, there's just so much good storylines that we're going to be talking about in this preview in a moment, that I would just hate to see him interfere and just completely pulverize. I just would hate it so much. But yeah, Vince just has got to stay away. He's got to stop throwing his weight around and, like, you know, doing all this and that. You know, so badly the fact, again, that, like, Triple H has to literally, like, you know, constantly, remind people. And hats off to Triple H for doing that as well. You know, calm everybody's nerves. And I'm pretty sure if, like, you know, nobody's talking about anything, everybody would be going chaotic right now. But yeah, huge uproar, and it was like quite a turn of events when I was away in Vegas, with Vince McMahon getting his position of power back, and then Stephanie resigning, and into the big uproar over WWE being sold to Saudi Arabia. I'm like, holy smokes. Yeah, what a turn of events. But yeah, I said I wanted to do a video. I wanted to do it live talking about that, but my steam with the whole situation kind of fell off a little bit. And like I said before, by the time I actually would finally get to it, it would be too late. So I just wanted to address that really quick before we talked about the Rumble. So with that being out of the way, let's talk about the Royal Rumble pay-per-view again. 5 matches, good. Again, we have 2 Rumble matches that should probably both go about an hour. And also, of course, give it a little more time, because I feel like there's been a couple years where the Women's Rumble's gone a little too long. that they've had to cut out on the men's Rumble. Well, basically it's like the first Rumble goes too long, the second one they got to cut back a little bit. And I'm expecting this year's show to be a hell of a lot better than last year's show. Last year's Rumble matches were not that good. They were definitely one of the worst Rumble matches. Not the very worst Rumble match. That still goes to 2015's Rumble to me. But I wouldn't say they're one of the worst matches of all time. They were just boring. This, though, got me intrigued. Because I got other than probably Roman retaining is the only thing I'm positive about. But of course, what goes down in that match, though, could impact maybe the Rumble match. Which is why these predictions, I'm going to do something different. Normally, whenever I do my pay-per-view preview and predictions, for those of you who've watched me do these before, I usually do them in order of how I see the matches happening. Instead, there are some things in 4 of the matches that I think are going to, tie together with another match. So instead of predicting them in order, I'm going to kind of talk about, the pairs at once, if you know what I mean. Which is why we're going to start off with talking about Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt and L.A. Knight. Let me talk to you. Yeah! And, of course, Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. As I feel those matches will kind of tie in together. So, the first one, I have a feeling we're going to probably open up with either this match with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight or the women's championship match. I feel like we may open up with this one first. Because I think what I'm predicting going to happen in this match could roll over into that women's title match. You want continuity, you want long-term storytelling, this is what's going to have to happen. So, again, as I've said before, I love both these guys. I love Bray Wyatt, and I really love LA Knight. Especially, of course, he's the fresher, one on the roster. Again, he's a character gimmick. He's not going to be as known for his in-ring ability, but on the microphone, his character work, that's where he's going to shine. So this has been more so of a character-building feud. Now, has it dragged on a little? Yes, because there's been some filler weeks. But like I always keep saying, the reason why I don't get as pissed off as I do with these filler weeks is because I have the faith in Triple H that when the payoff happens, the payoff is going to be worth it. And it's going to make everything before that look, credible as well. So I'm torn on this match. I'm torn on a lot of matches who I want to see win. So originally, I said Bray Wyatt all the way, gotta win this. But then, it just feels like for most of this build, Bray Wyatt has had the upper hand a lot. Which, of course, doesn't quite necessarily mean anything. Because, again, we still don't completely understand, what all is going on with Bray Wyatt's character. With the whole Wyatt 6, the different personalities, and all this other jazz. Again, we don't quite have a clear direction. But it has someone like myself intrigued. But then, of course, through all the craziness of Bray Wyatt, he seems to have one weakness right now, at least. Well, not really a weakness, but one thing that kind of could be like an Achilles heel. It's that it seems like he's trying to not get totally corroded, possessed by Uncle Howdy. So, this is probably kind of a cinematic match. Maybe, I don't know. Again, it's called, I forgot to say this, it's called the Not the pitched black match. It's the Mountain Dew pitched black match. So again, this could be a little more cinematic, which again has me wondering how Triple H would do like a cinematic style match. Or something like a little more, different like this. Because, we've seen them try to do House of Horrors. We've seen them do a bunch of different, strange, cryptic type matches with Bray Wyatt. And of course, also, this is Bray Wyatt's first actual match wrestling since he returned at Extreme Rules. So, and then the other thing too is, because there's somebody else on this card that is involved with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. And my thing is also, when I was making this prediction, I'm thinking, okay, you can't just have the other person lose. Well, just clean. And have no, character development from it. Or just something. So, here's what I'm going to predict. I know people may not agree with this, but to me, it would still kind of make sense. Because I think back to a few weeks ago, when Uncle Howdy hit Bray Wyatt with the Sister Abigail. Now, I don't quite know where it's going to go from this. Of course, it could, it could lead to some babyface sympathy for Bray Wyatt. But I'm going to throw a curveball here and say I think LA Knight is going to win the pitch black match, and Uncle Howdy is going to cost Bray Wyatt the match, because Bray Wyatt isn't going to want to, fully embrace, the evil injection, or whatever heck you want to call it, into his soul. He's teased that he's embraced it somewhat, but not every time. I think Bray is going to try to fight off Uncle Howdy, but LA Knight will take advantage and win this match. And I think if they do it that way, Bray will be okay. I know people don't want to see Bray Wyatt lose, but first off, LA Knight could use the win here also. This feud has made me think of Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream. Or Aleister Black and He Who Must Not Be Named, because, Patrick Clark, we don't need to talk about that. Anyways, but it feels like that because, again, both men could have used the win, but still, whoever lost still came out as a star. I kind of want to see that happen because of how it could impact a match later on. I think the goal here between the two matches, with the pitch black match and the Raw Women's Championship match, is to still make Uncle Howdy somewhat of show in some way he's a dominating force. Which is going to lead me, of course, to the second match involved in kind of this story that's tied together. This Raw Women's Championship match with Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. So Alexa Bliss seemingly has, again, embraced the dark side of being, going back to what she was, during the pandemic era, the Harley Quinn type Alexa Bliss. Except they're keeping it a little bit different this time. So, okay, I've been okay. Again, I had my concerns when they did this, but so far, the promos she's cut, I've been okay. This idea where she's Uncle Howdy's not in control, Bray Wyatt's not in control, I'm in control. So the reason why I think that pitch black match should happen first is, again, I don't think Alexa Bliss should just lose clean to Bianca Belair if you're going to still, develop this character more. What I think should happen, since Uncle Howdy will cost Bray Wyatt his pitch black match, Bray Wyatt wants to fight back at Uncle Howdy. Because, the story always has been, even, of course, I think back to in the Rumble, 2019, 2020, 2021. The Rumble where Alexa Bliss entered, and she's about to, embrace like her dark powers, and then Rhea eliminated her before, she got to, full strength. So I think back to that, I'm thinking, okay, Alexa, who believes she's in full control, still doesn't seem to be able to be that big of a threat to Bianca until Uncle Howdy shows up. So my thought is Bray Wyatt will try to, fight off Uncle Howdy when Uncle Howdy teases his involvement in this match. And it'll knock Alexa Bliss back into reality, which will cause Bianca to be able to defeat her to retain her Raw Women's Championship. I know that's crazy because I still don't 100% have a long-term plan after this, but again, it would be just the whole idea that Uncle Howdy is the dominating force between Bray Wyatt, who's trying to avoid it, and Alexa Bliss, who believes that she's in power, but in reality is she's really not. So that's kind of the route I'm going with those two matches. Like I said, this will probably be the cool down match. I think they'll probably do Bray Wyatt. Well, they may not do it this way too, but they could do is Bray Wyatt and LA Knight opening the show. The Women's Rumble match goes second, and then the Raw Women's title match goes after that as a cool down match. Or another match could be the first match on the card. We'll get to that, of course, in a moment. But yeah, so I think Uncle Howdy will cost Bray Wyatt the Pitch Black match. And then Bray Wyatt will get his revenge on Uncle Howdy and stop him from fully mesmerizing Alexa Bliss. So that Bianca can beat her without hurting Alexa's developing character. So that's what I'm predicting for those two matches. The one match that's kind of by itself, that I don't think the women's title match will impact, though, on this show at least, of course, is the 30 Women Royal Rumble match. Now, there's only 7 people, I think it is. Let me pull up the list here. 7 people who officially are in this Rumble. I mean, I know SmackDown's going on now, so maybe somebody else announced themselves in. Who knows how that's all going to work. But I will be watching SmackDown after this, like I said before. So there's only 7 people who have been made official for the Rumble. And that's Candice LeRae, Emma, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, and Zelina Vega are the only ones that have officially entered the Women's Rumble match. So, obviously, a lot of names on the active roster who have not, announced, have not declared themselves yet, but probably will show up. We're going to be getting, of course, a lot of surprises. Some legends, maybe, former wrestlers. Not all of them are legends. Summer Rae's not a legend. Maybe a few NXT, because that's right, we didn't get anybody from NXT last year. But, I'm going to go through the roster really quick here. I can maybe see, Kaylee Ray or Alba Fire making an appearance in this match. No Alexa. Aaliyah's out hurt. We'll skip this person. I'll get back to her shortly. Bayley and Becky, I'm sure, will get involved in this match. And probably, maybe Becky will eliminate Bayley, or could be the vice versa. One of the two happening. Get back to this one in a second. I don't know if B-Fab will appear in it. Let me see who else has not announced their entry yet. Carmella, I think Carmella's still going to be out for a while. Charlotte Flair, well, I'll be honest, until I thought of this idea, I thought maybe Charlotte Flair would enter the Women's Rumble, and because again, for the longest time, they've been saying they want to do Bianca Belair versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. But now, of course, apparently I'm hearing now that Charlotte became champion because the original plans they had for Ronda Rousey got scrapped. So I don't know if Ronda's going to even be in this match, even be in the Rumble at all, or be in any WrestleMania plans. I still want to see her versus Becky, which also, again, doesn't need the title, but it doesn't look like now we're going to be getting Charlotte versus Bianca, title versus title. But, I definitely think Cora Jade from NXT could possibly make an appearance. Dakota Kai, maybe. Dana Brooke has not announced her entrance, but do you care? Not really. Doudrop. Well, I'm hoping she returns. I'm predicting she could be a surprise entrant, but she will appear as Piper Niven and get rid of that stupid-ass name Doudrop. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Emma's already in. Maybe Gigi Dolan and JC Jane of Toxic Attraction? Maybe. Trying to see who hasn't announced their entrant yet. I can see Indy Hartwell, maybe. And maybe Isla Dawn. But nobody else. Well, maybe a few more from NXT. Io Sky probably will get in there somehow. Who else do we got here? Wouldn't mind seeing Casey Catanzaro or Katana Chance, wherever her name is in NXT, make an appearance. She had that nice appearance in the 2019 Women's Rumble. Lacey Evans. Who knows? If she decides on a gimmick or not, maybe. Who knows? Liv Morgan's in it. Lyra Valkyrie. Well, Lyra Valkyrie, formerly known as Aoife Valkyrie. If she didn't just get repackaged in NXT, I would say yes, but she just got repackaged, so probably not yet. Maurice. Maybe Maurice? Who knows? I did skip over, of course, one person, because they might have a pivotal role. Of course, she's not on the app still, but Mia Yim. I said a few months ago, if Rhea became champion at Rumble, they could do Mia Yim winning the Rumble and her versus Rhea Mania, but that's not happening now. Could Naomi come back? I think if they, with Sasha Banks settled in out of the WWE, I think Naomi's coming back. She'll probably be a surprise entrant. She could also be teased as a winner, but I don't see her winning it. Natalia's been out for a few months. Maybe she'll return. Nikki Cross, I think may probably get in the match at some point. Maybe Nikita Lyons. I can see that as a possibility. Raquel was in it. Rhea's in it. Ronda, we'll see. I keep hearing that she's not in it, but again, Ronda's not been seen since she dropped the title to Charlotte. So I have no clue what's going on with Ronda. Maybe again they just soured on the whole thing because of just how poor her run's been this time. I definitely possibly see Roxanne Perez appearing in this match as well. They could do Scarlett. I'm not opposed to Scarlett getting in there. Shayna's in it. Shotzi Blackheart, who's not been seen for weeks. Quite possible. Sonya Deville, she'll whine her way in. Tamina. Probably. Tegan Nox, yes. Hopefully she gets in there. Valhalla, Sarah Logan. I don't know. Maybe, but I'm not as confident on that one. Xia Li, probably, because she's on the main roster. And maybe Zoe Stark from NXT. Legends. Again, I'm saving one. Maybe Mickie James. I've heard rumors that Lita's in town, so maybe Lita will appear. Although, again, you don't have to do Lita and, well, probably not Trish. Well, maybe Trish, who knows. But you don't have to do Trish and Lita, though, every year. Honestly, though, if they have Lita win the face Charlotte, I'll take that. That's another prediction I'll throw out there. But that's not, the one I am set on right now. That's not the one that I'm picking. Mickie James apparently just won the Impact Women's title again. Maybe they'll do what they did last year. And Triple H will actually give her a little more time in the ring. Maybe get her to the Final Four or something. There's been heavy rumors for a while about Chelsea Green coming back. I think she could appear here in this Rumble if indeed she comes back. I also read the other day somebody said that Nia Jax could be coming back. But no, so anybody else? I don't know who else I could think of for a surprise, but I would like to see it happen. Again, I'm still hopeful. Well, do it with no titles on the line. I still kind of hope they set up for Becky and Ronda. Maybe have like Becky eliminate Bayley to get their revenge from this past week on Raw, and then maybe at some point Becky eliminates Ronda or Ronda eliminates Becky, and then like the following week's like, yeah, by the way, I kind of not too thrilled that you avoided me at Mania last year. Why is that, Ronda? And have that long-awaited one-on-one match we've been waiting to have. So there's one legend I didn't mention yet, Hall of Famer, that I'm pretty sure will be appearing in this Rumble match. So let me get to who I'm predicting to win. I have two. I'm leaning towards Rhea Ripley because I would like to see someone else win the Rumble. And of course, of all people, for crying out loud, she should be a freaking champion right now. So my original pick actually was Rhea. Until I remembered that we have not seen Beth Phoenix since Extreme Rules. And if there's anybody who probably should be the only person to eliminate Rhea, it should be Beth Phoenix. So if Beth Phoenix shows up in this match, then I don't think Rhea's winning. If that's the case, I'm going with a former Rumble winner. Someone who has not been seen since War Games. And somebody who's been heavily teasing an old character on social media. And somebody I know Triple H will push her to the moon. Someone who I think Triple H will send a SmackDown and to rewrite a big loss she had at WrestleMania 34. I'm more confident because I feel good about Rhea's chances of winning. But like I said, if Beth Phoenix enters this Rumble match, forget it. She's out. So I think we will have the return and repackaging of Asuka as like her evil clown, like Kana gimmick, whatever it's called. I think she will return with the new gimmick. And I think she will win the Women's Rumble match. And she will go on to fight Charlotte at WrestleMania. And she will win. That's where she will beat Charlotte. So like I said, you can set up, we have like our legends. You can have the moments like, Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley, Beth come back to get her revenge. You have, Becky and Bayley kind of continue their feud in this. But also, start setting up for her and Ronda if Ronda does appear in this Rumble match. Which again, I still think you should still do. I mean, yes, I know Ronda Rousey has not been great this run. But you still gotta do the match with her and Becky. I still want to see it personally. So you have some setups there for some long-term booking. But when it's all said and done, Asuka should win here. If you want to give Rhea the title shot against Bianca at WrestleMania, have her win the Chamber. I think Rhea being dominating in the Chamber also would be a nice, story to show there as well. So yeah, I'm going to say Asuka wins this Rumble returning and repackaging to her old, evil clown Kana gimmick. But if not, my second pick is Rhea Ripley. So, should be fun. We'll have a lot of surprises. Still a lot of people who have to, enter the match. We only have 7 official people, but I'm sure several who are already on the roster that did not announce their entrance yet will come in. But I'm sure we'll have some good surprises as well. And maybe some returns, again, like a Chelsea Green. Just please no Nia Jax. Please, please, please no Nia Jax. I beg you, Triple H. I beg you. Alright. And then, of course, the last 2 matches that kind of tie in together. That could, at least. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the undisputed Universal Championship. Now, obviously, this feud is mainly tying into the whole thing with, Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. And, Kevin Owens tried to tell Sami, hey, dude, they're just using you. Which, of course, obviously seems to become more and more true. But, of course, Roman Reigns wants to get rid of the so-called KO problem. But, of course, in recent weeks, after Sami was showing, a lot of, faithfulness, he was unintentionally doing things that was starting to give the Bloodline having some doubts about Sami Zayn, after all. Mostly Roman Reigns. Leading to, of course, this impressive trial of Sami Zayn segment they had on Raw 30 this past week. So, the obvious thing here is Roman Reigns is going to retain. I mean, I would love to see Kevin Owens be Universal Champion again. I think he deserves it. I don't think it's happening here, though. Either way, though, this is going to be the night where Sami Zayn either gets kicked out of the Bloodline, or he turns on the Bloodline, or the Bloodline turn on him first. So this one's pretty obvious. It's going to be an excellent match. They've always had great matches. I think back to their match at Rumble 2017, their TLC match at TLC 2020, their Last Man Standing match at Rumble 2021. They also had, I think, that steel cage on SmackDown in 2020 as well. Like, Roman and Owens, with the right, of course, dynamics, they have put on awesome matches. So I'm not doubting this match at all. I feel like, though, it's not going to be more so of like the wrestling's going to stand out in this match, though. It's going to be the storytelling. Which, of course, is going to lead me to transitioning into the men's Rumble match. But this past week on Raw, after, of course, Roman Reigns had said he didn't want to see Sami Zayn or speak to Sami Zayn again until Saturday, he also mentioned that he was going to have a final test. So, what exactly is this final test? Will maybe Roman be announcing it on SmackDown tonight? Which, if you're watching SmackDown right now, no spoilers. So again, I am DVRing it. I'm going to watch it after I'm done with this stream. But let's kind of talk about that. What I think, I think the simplest way is that Roman Reigns is going to, have Sami Zayn make sure Kevin Owens does not become Universal Champion, have his back at all costs. But then, of course, I thought it could be something else. Because I think either way, I'm still going to pitch this idea. Whether Sami Zayn, because I'll say this way, Sami Zayn is a favorite to win the Rumble. He's still not going to be my pick. But I still think whether he wins this Rumble or not, the idea I have could happen in this Rumble match. So let's talk about the men's Rumble match. Now, I'd say first, since my idea does not involve him, let's just get this out of the way. I still said, like I said at the beginning of the stream, this is the last time I will get my hopes up that The Rock will show up. I think there is a chance that The Rock will show up. it could happen as like even like at the end of this Rumble match, or even at the end of the title match, he comes out and he confronts Roman. Now, some people said, what if The Rock appears in the Rumble and wins it? I don't want to see The Rock win the Rumble. Because also, I don't think that The Rock and Roman Reigns should be based around the titles. I think the story needs to be, of course, Rock can get into Roman's head, but I don't think he has to win the Rumble to do that. Because I know some people are saying they should have, The Rock and Roman on one night, and then Roman and whoever wins this Rumble match the other night. But again, my thing is I still feel like The Rock and Roman in Hollywood should be headlining the entire weekend. Because some people say they should do Rock and Roman on night one, and then Roman and a lot of people saying Cody Rhodes win the Rumble on night two. But my thing though is okay, but it's like as great of a match as Roman and Cody will be, because it will happen at some point. Maybe at Mania this year, we'll get to it. I still think Rock and Roman's a big headliner. But of course, people are saying that they hear rumors that WWE is moving forward without The Rock. Rock's saying he's not in shape. My thing is again, The Rock months ago cleared his schedule at the beginning of this year. He also has been posting a lot of workout videos on Instagram. And of course, people are saying that The Rock's saying that he's not in great shape, which is why WWE decided not to move forward, with their plans for him. Again, my thing is this is a lot of the same exact stuff Edge was saying before he returned at the 2020 Rumble. I still think there's a chance The Rock will be appearing on this show. I don't think, though, he should be winning the Rumble. I don't want to see it happen. I would like to see someone else win the Rumble. So, of course, who would my predictions to be? Well, first off, there's 16 people announced to be in this match. We do have, let me get to it here. We have Austin Theory, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Cody Rhodes, Dominic Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Karrion Kross, Kofi Kingston, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Omos, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Santos Escobar, Seth Rollins, and Sheamus. So there's a bunch of things because honest to God, honest truth, I would rather, if I could somehow if my friends would only want to do just one live reaction, I still would rather live react to this men's Rumble match, because there's a lot that could happen in this match. First off, we're probably going to have Brock Lesnar come and get into this match, and they'll probably have him and Lashley brawl and eliminate each other. We'll probably see that. I can also predict maybe John Cena appears as a surprise and sets up his feud with Austin Theory, because I still want to see John Cena versus Austin Theory for the U.S. title at Mania. That would be an awesome match. Let me see here. Obviously, this is going to be where I think Rey Mysterio finally, just like gives in and puts his hands on his son and finally, just like knocks some sense into him, setting up for that match at WrestleMania. We're going to be probably going to be in that. What else do we have here that I saw? Oh, maybe have Sheamus and Gunther go at it again and do the trilogy at WrestleMania where Sheamus dethrones Gunther and wins his first IC title. Maybe that as well. There's a lot of possibilities. But first, let me mention the 3 people that I think may have a chance. One I don't really want to see. One I'm more confident with. But then again, I got a prediction. This is like a somewhat unlikely prediction, but hear me out on it. So first, I will say one person that may be considered to win this is Seth Rollins. Because of the story about, again, you go back to last year's Rumble, their match ended in a DQ. And the story there is Seth Rollins always seems to be able to beat Roman clean when it counts. But that's very basic. So I don't want to go with that. I will go with who I'm going to pick to win. I think the person that should win this Rumble match is indeed Cody Rhodes, who will be returning in the Rumble match on Sunday. I still think it's weird that, again, Seth Rollins is a babyface, and Seth Rollins wrote him off TV after he completely tore his pec off because he was Cody Rhodes is just a crazy man who does crazy things, such as wrestles a classic Hell in a Cell match with a fully torn pec. But I think this is Cody's match to win. And again, I think, he needs to be the one to go on to WrestleMania and dethrone Roman. However, hear me out on this, guys. So, I mentioned before that a favorite to win this also is Sami Zayn, who has not been announced for his entry in the Rumble yet. So, I've been thinking about a lot of things. But the main thing I keep wondering is, and again, we could be finding out on SmackDown tonight, what on earth is this final test going to be that Roman is going to put Sami through at Rumble tomorrow? So I thought about it, and I think the easiest way out to say is he's like, make sure Owens does not leave with the title. But then I keep thinking back to something else recently that Roman's been saying to Sami. The line of, you think you can be the tribal chief? You think you're the tribal chief? You think you're better than me? I'm feeling this final test is going to be something that Roman Reigns wants to test that loyalty to see if Sami Zayn really wants to be a follower or if he wants to be a superior to him. So here's what I'm going to pitch. And again, I feel like this idea may be very unlikely, but I think it may be the best way to go to have the full-on turn happen with Sami Zayn imploding from the bloodline. The idea of Sami beating the bloodline to the punch. Here's what I'm going to propose. So Roman retains against Kevin Owens. What if that opens the show instead? We have that match open. We'll do the Pitch Black match, then the Women's Rumble, then the Raw Women's title match to call the cool down, and then this. Roman retains against KO. And then Roman tells Sami, the both of them, both Sami and Roman, will both enter the Rumble match. And Sami is to help Roman. And when the time comes where it could be down to just Sami and Roman, will Sami Zayn lie down for Roman Reigns? Will Sami, like the Usos, accept that he is not the head of the table, that he's not the tribal chief, that he's not superior? Because, again, I can't think of anything else that's not like going in circles, a repetition that Roman would want to test Sami with. So what if Roman Reigns wants to enter the Rumble and say he wants to win the Rumble to control his own destiny to WrestleMania, pick his opponent, which of course also, if Roman, would somehow win this Rumble, somehow, he'll end up having The Rock come out, and The Rock would push him to basically, challenge him, get his head about being the true head of the table, whatnot. Okay, but, what if that moment comes? Let's say it comes down to, like, the final three. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes. That's a predicted final three. If, of course, this would happen. And basically, this is a moment of truth where Sami Zayn, must, of course, help Roman first eliminate Cody. Or and then Sami, just like eliminates himself for Roman. Show that he's loyal to him, and he truly acknowledges Roman as the tribal chief and the head of the table. And the swerve here, again, go back to if it's just Roman, Sami, and Cody. They're teasing the double team on Cody. They're chilling there. Then all of a sudden, Haluva kick! Sami Zayn eliminates Roman Reigns. And the story is Sami Zayn knew that it was coming, so he decided to beat them to the punch. And maybe there'll be a if they would go with this, maybe there could be a moment where the moment in the match earlier where Sami Zayn tested the waters and almost costed Roman his title match. Almost. So that and the thing why I say still have Cody in there, because after that it could come down to Cody and Sami, and you can still have Cody Rhodes win the Rumble, because I think the plan, it would be awesome to see Sami Zayn be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns at Mania. But again, I'm sorry. One, this is Cody's time. And two, Sami Zayn should be fighting the Usos at WrestleMania with Kevin Owens and then win the tag titles together. I am pretty sure the whole idea with Kevin Owens being involved in the storyline is for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to have a moment together. Unless they would go with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens fighting for the tag titles, and Sami Zayn also fighting for the Undisputed title, and then Cody Rhodes after Mania is like, hey, you stole my spotlight. And then we have a feud with Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, and that's where Cody Rhodes wins the title. But first off, Chambers in Montreal next month. I'm pretty sure if we did do a world title match with Sami Zayn, it will be in Montreal. So I think if that, even that's why I said, you can still have Cody Rhodes win this Rumble match, but that at least could be a way to set up for that match at Chamber. But again, Cody still might pick the win. And I know that was an insane fantasy booking idea with having Roman Reigns entering himself in the Rumble match to win the Rumble to control his own destiny, but Sami Zayn eliminates him and beats him to the punch. And again, I know people are going to think, that's not the best idea, but to me it's what else, there's a final test. What other final test could Roman test that he hasn't tested Sami with already? And that's something I thought back to when Roman Reigns questioning Sami. Do you think you're the tribal chief? If you truly believe I'm the tribal chief, you will lay down for me. So, again, it doesn't have to lead to Sami Zayn winning the Rumble match. But it could at least lead to them setting up for their Chamber program. And then eventually for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos at Mania. That's what I think could happen. Again, even of course, if that happens, you can still have The Rock appear at some point in this show. Or actually, no. Have The Rock appear after Roman. And heck, no, how about this? Let's change the story up a little bit here. What if The Rock appears after Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens? This makes Roman feel threatened. So, and The Rock tells him he will feel threatened. And The Rock is and we found The Rock will be in the Rumble match. And then Roman and Sami get in the match to try to stop The Rock. So they at least take care of The Rock. But then Sami Zayn, then turns on Roman. That could be a way maybe we could introduce all that. I'm cool with that. Man, the fantasy booking bug was on me tonight for sure. But either way, Cody Rhodes is winning this Rumble match. That's who should be winning this, is Cody Rhodes. And again, Sami Zayn can still pull off that stunt I just talked about. But again, he could probably, be runner-up to Cody Rhodes. Although, it would still be cool to see Sami Zayn be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns also at Mania. Again, I didn't get those vibes until this past week with the whole, trial of Sami Zayn. Because again, he gained massive babyface momentum from that segment. Massive. But that's my Rumble predictions. Again, I'm going to predict, here, my predictions again are Uncle Howdy costing Bray Wyatt the Pitch Black match, which will cause Bray Wyatt to stop Uncle Howdy from possessing Alexa Bliss. And because Alexa won't be possessed, Bianca will be able to defeat Alexa. I think my number one pick to win the Women's Rumble match is Asuka. But if Beth Phoenix does not appear... Oh, that's right, I forgot also. Edge will probably be in this Rumble match also. I think Edge will return at the Rumble as well. But I think Rhea will win unless Beth Phoenix gets in the Rumble. Then I have a returning Asuka winning. Roman Reigns retains over Kevin Owens. Something will happen that will cause, Roman to, have a little bit of down Sammy. But that's when The Rock could return and intimidate Roman. Not more than about, I want this to happen. Intimidate Roman that he wants to, win the Rumble himself and control his own destiny for Mania. And wants Sami Zayn to come with him. That be his final test. And then have Sami Zayn eliminate Roman Reigns in the Rumble, but it'll be him and Cody Rhodes being the final two, and Cody Rhodes wins the men's 2023 Rumble. That, my friends, is my thoughts. My predictions for Royal Rumble 2023. And again, I had a lot to say, and I said a lot. But let's check the live chat before we go off the air here, and I go downstairs to watch SmackDown. I think we were, I believe, here. Okay. Tyler's picks to win the men's and women's Rumble: Cody Rhodes and Becky Lynch. I'm okay with Becky winning it, but I don't think Becky needs to win. I don't think she needs it right now. And honestly, again, I don't think she's really a favorite right now to win it. Like, if Ronda is still champion, I say Becky's chances were higher. But like I said, you can still set up Ronda and Becky and no title being involved. You can still do that. Tyler's hyped for 2K23. Stay away, Vince. Stay away. Vince is evil. SmackDown's on. Wrestling News 365. What's up, my friend? I think RVD returns in the Rumble. Randy Orton returns in the Rumble. Edge returns. Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin returns. And The Rock. RVD appearing would be cool. Randy Orton, I doubt, because I get his back injury is a little more severe. Or we could see Matt Riddle come back also, I think maybe. No Goldberg. I think Edge is possible. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I wouldn't be opposed to him being in this either. I've heard rumors, so yes. Tyler wants Alexa to win the Roman's title. Okay. Is SmackDown Women's Championship match is going to happen? Not on this show, I don't think. Again, originally, they were going to do Ronda and Raquel at Rumble. But then those plans got scrapped in the end. And then Charlotte came back and won a women's title. Probably because Ronda was doing crap. With not doing good. Big E and Bobby Roode both return. And I think Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Bobby Roode and Ciampa are out hurt. It'd be nice to see Big E come back, but I keep hearing that they won't be able to, decide anything more on Big E until March. Johnny maybe, but Johnny's hurt also. WWE should split the world and tag titles this year. At some point, I think they will this year. The Pitch Black match should be interesting. No horse face at the Rumble, thank God. You never know. Do you think Naomi or Sasha returns the Women's Rumble? Definitely not Sasha, but I think Naomi will be. I wouldn't mind Asuka winning the Rumble, but she's going to go with Becky. Cool. I'm feeling Nia Jax is coming back. Please no. Please no. Roman Owens better be a good match. Because 2020 TLC and Last Man Standing at the Rumble were boring and bad. Tower didn't like those matches. I love those matches. Yes, the finish, I think, to the Last Man Standing match hurt the match a little bit, but I thought they're awesome matches. Not telling you it. Not sure what we mean by that. Cody is my pick for the men's Rumble and not The Rock. Sheamus versus Roman at Mania. I don't know. Do you think Matt Riddle shows up and Logan Paul? Matt Riddle, I think so. Logan Paul. Isn't Logan Paul in trouble right now with some scam thing? I don't think he's gonna be there. Roman should drop both world titles at Mania. I think he will. I thought we were getting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. We still are. Again, I just think that if that's the way they want to, implode Sami Zayn from the bloodline, that would be a pretty good move there to do what they did. The Rock should be in the Hall of Fame this year. I agree, especially with them being in Hollywood. And that's my thing too, I keep saying. If The Rock does not show up tomorrow night, then I'm going to say the match is definitely off for sure for Mania. And again, I keep saying too, if The Rock and Roman's not going to happen in Hollywood, then it's never going to happen. Because even after this year, what's Roman going to do? Roman's getting ready to go Hollywood too, So I don't think it'll be happening if it doesn't happen this year. Do you think Tyson Kidd shows up in the Rumble? It'd be nice, but I don't think it's happening, although you never know. And what about Switchblade Jay White? I've heard rumors about Jay White. So it could be possible. Eric Young's going to be in the Rumble. Is that a spoiler? Please don't spoil me if that's true. But I've heard rumors about Eric Young coming back. Maybe AJ Styles wins the Rumble. It's not Johnny Gargano versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Woo! I mean, AJ's still hurt. I don't know if he will be back for Mania in time, but AJ Styles and Johnny Gargano, that'd be an awesome match. But I think I will call tonight here. Again, I am going to go watch SmackDown. And if I have time tonight, I will try to review both Dynamite and SmackDown. If I have time. If not, once I get settled, I will catch up on that stuff as well. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for your stuff in the live chat. Again, this is a fun live stream. Again, like I said, until I get things, settled down in my personal life, I will still be going back to just uploads only. But I will at least, again, do a live review of Rumble. But like everything else right now, still uploads. But hopefully someday soon, I can get back to doing all lives again. We'll see, though. But, yep. That's my thoughts, guys. What are your guys' thoughts on my Royal Rumble 2020 predictions? What are your thoughts also on the stuff I said about Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and the whole WWE sales stuff at the beginning of this preview? Give me your thoughts, guys, down in the comment section below. And be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheClubOfTheMan93. And be sure, as always, to shout for me, Bolson. And follow me on TikTok at TheClubOfTheMan1993. If I have time also, before the pay-per-view tomorrow, maybe I'll post a couple of shorts on TikTok with some of these predictions as well. Because again, I do want to continue to, try to expand on more social media. Again, I will create an Instagram page after I get the new intro made. Hopefully, I will have that figured out soon. But yeah, I'm going to check out, guys. I'm going to go watch SmackDown. You guys have a great great rest of your night. And also, hopefully soon, I'll try to bring the green screen back, too. Hopefully, again, I'll have more space. I can keep the green screen up, more frequently, hopefully soon. Maybe. Who knows? And I can go back to maybe trying to do a green screen background instead of just whatever room I'm in. Just, again, try to, spice things up on the channels I like to do, so. But we'll see. But till then, guys, I'm checking out. Hopefully I'll be live again soon. I love y'all. Catch y'all later. Enjoy the Royal Rumble this weekend. Should be a fun show as we're getting ready to officially be on the road to WrestleMania Hollywood. WrestleMania 39. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah, no one will surprise. There's no escape.